So a couple days ago, I put out the call asking for everybody to share with me the worst parenting advice they'd ever received. And the prize was one of these three audio copies of my book, Bare Minimum Parenting, The Ultimate Guide to Not Quite Ruining Your Child. And I got over 1,900 comments. And I'd like to believe it's because you all really, really want this audiobook and you just want to hear my voice that badly. But I think the truth is that there's just that much bad advice out there that it was kind of overwhelming. So I went through and picked out some of my favorites. So three people are going to win these. And then I'm going to read some other ones. And yes, I'm announcing the winners via video. Please post your complaints below. I promise not to read them. But this is just so much easier than me. I don't have to spend 4 hours writing something up or editing it. I can just go on here and talk in one take because I have lower standards for video than in anything else I do. All right, so I compiled some of my favorite screenshots on here of the best ones, and then I'll read the three that actually won at the end, so as to maintain you in suspense. I know you're so excited. You want those books so badly. Nobody wants those books. It's okay. It doesn't hurt my feelings at all. All right, so here are some of the best ones. So Ellen Rummel, oh, and by the way, these are all, I combined them. So this is Instagram, this is Facebook, and this is Twitter all together. Everybody's equal. I tried to kind of spread it around where I picked the top ones from. So Ellen Rummel writes, prop a bottle up in the crib, I guess like a hamster bottle, so you don't have to feed him in the middle of the night. And that came from her mother-in-law. Let me just say that I'm kind of upset I never thought of that. That's brilliant. It wouldn't work at all because, a newborn baby can't like prop themselves up and drink. But hey, it's the thought that counts. The idea of keeping my child in a crib hamster enclosure is just entirely too practical. And I'm kind of sad. It was a missed opportunity. I could have been such a better parent. Mama Juxty writes, tape a half dollar on top of her belly button. It will make it an innie instead of an outie. And that came from her ex-mother-in-law when her first daughter was 1 week old. That's another practical one. There was a lot of old wives' tales in here for wisdom. It makes you wonder how it started. It also makes you wonder if anybody ever actually tried it. I think back before Child Protective Services, people just had a lot more freedom to do what they want. I think parenting was a lot more fun and a lot more dangerous back then. Oh, I should add, by the way, there are a few general categories that like lots and lots of people hit. I think the three most popular categories were give the baby alcohol in terms of bad advice, and it comes in a million different forms for a million different problems. Basically, lots of people solve problems with alcohol, not just adults. Apparently, they solve parenting problems as well. So good luck with that, I guess, for everybody offering that advice. Another one that kept coming up, people told you to sleep when the baby sleeps, which everyone realizes is impossible. You can't like sleep in 5-minute bursts throughout the day. It does not work that way. And if you do fall asleep, your baby senses it and wakes up because at their core, children are evil. And then another one that kept coming up, basically anything about breastfeeding. If you see somebody breastfeeding, here's what you should say. Nothing. Literally nothing. Unless they invite you to come over and critique the time and place and method in which they are breastfeeding, leave them alone. It's a very easy solution. It will never end well for you if you confront somebody about that, because it's their right to breastfeed. The baby's got to eat. Got to leave them alone. All right, another great one here from Mike Bagic. A coworker told me to keep an eye on my 10-year-old because she might be doing heroin in the bathroom at Christmas and I would never know. Guess you never do know, do you? 10-year-olds gone in the bathroom for 5 minutes, immediately jump to heroin. That would be my first thought. KJG writes, having a C-section will make your daughter resent you later in life. Natural birth will keep you closer together. And that came from her ex-mother-in-law. Lots of bad advice coming in from mother-in-laws. Does anybody here like have firsthand knowledge of the method by which they were born? I'm going to go with no. I think people have to tell you how you were born. Pretty sure it doesn't make a difference. I've been wrong before. Let's see here. Tanya Jellick writes, you have to keep scissors near your baby or a ghost will eat her. Well, that explains all of my missing children. Okay, I used to have way more than 4, didn't keep the scissors out, now they're gone. Thank you, Tanya, for that explanation, just a little bit too late. I'm curious who told that to you. I hope it was somebody with superior ghost knowledge. Then Catherine Grasshopper writes, don't vaccinate. Yeah, this one came up a couple times. Yeah, please vaccinate your children. Let's not cause another pandemic because of what somebody on a Facebook group told us or a blogging platform told us. So thank you for sharing that bad advice. Melody Fish says the worst advice she got was don't tickle the baby, you'll give him a stutter. That's how my cousin Phil got his stutter. Another new profound scientific fact I did not know before. I am learning so much today from this secondhand bad advice you guys are conveying through to me. Stutters from tickling. Makes sense. Why haven't the scientists caught up with that? Beth on Twitter writes, breastfeeding is birth control. And then she says, welcome number 2, 15 months later. So apparently she tried to follow that advice. Or maybe it's a coincidence. I don't know. Breastfeeding is not birth control. I don't know if anything is birth control. Sometimes life just finds a way. Jurassic Park was right. Those babies, they come sometimes. All right, Jess, or at Dogwood City Darcy, or at Dogwood Darcy, I'm sorry. She writes, you're honestly so lucky that your daughter is in the NICU. You don't have to deal with the cord falling off, and you're getting way more sleep than the average new mom. You should be grateful. I think Jess's comments probably got the most replies of anybody's comment anywhere. That's a pretty horrible thing that somebody said to you, Jess. I'm sorry somebody said that. I'm going to assume they're just super awkward and trying to, find the silver lining. But yeah, maybe don't say that to somebody in that situation. You never get in trouble by just saying nothing. Just here, let me give you a hug and let's say nothing. That's how I get through most of my life, except without the hug parts. I just go with the say nothing. Only in real life, though. On the internet, I say way too much, which is how you get these videos and these long threads. All right, Alicia Lundquist says, after commenting on her independent personality, which I agreed with, I was told not to worry. Someone will eventually knock her down a few pegs. Who says that? So somebody complimented her independent daughter and then told them that not to worry, somebody would knock her down a few pegs. That's the weirdest left-handed compliment of the bunch. So people at parks are weird. Don't talk to people at parks. All right, Kat Saunders O'Gorman writes, your kids play outside too much. They are going to get hurt. You should have them sit more. I can honestly say I've never heard anybody give that advice. So, Kat, you had a truly unique experience getting that bad advice from somebody. I hope you followed it. Sedentary children are much easier to control. I don't know that it's better for them, but at least you know where they are. I'm curious about what prompted somebody to say that. Were your kids like running around with swords and machetes? That would be my kids. I would not be surprised if I got that advice from somebody someday. All right, Jenny Corey writes, I cracked my knuckles when I was pregnant and was told that made me a bad mom because it would hurt the baby. Apparently my womb is located in my hands. So yeah, an anatomy lesson right there. Don't crack your knuckles when you're pregnant or you're going to hurt the baby. Nerves are tricky things. All right, Rachel Corsten writes, crossing your toes during pregnancy will give your baby clicky hips. And they 100% believe it. I got to admit, when I took the screenshot of that one, I thought it said clicky hiccups. And I was like, what is that? I had to say it just because of that. But apparently it's clicky hips. I misread it the first time. I've written 2 books. I still can't read. Funny how that works. But I'm going to go out on a limb here and saying crossing your toes probably does not cause clicky hips, whatever that is. Kind of sounds like an amazing dance move, to be honest. It could be the next craze. Maybe you should cross your toes just to see what you get. Kate Norton writes, not parenting advice. Let's call it pre-parenting. But the most priceless thing I've heard since becoming pregnant was, don't cross your legs. The baby can't breathe. That's a head scratcher. And I'm not going to say I have the best knowledge of anatomy in the world, but it's not like the baby has a snorkel in there running out of a certain area. They've got the umbilical cord. It's an entirely self-contained system. I'm pretty sure you're okay to cross your legs. I don't know. Maybe not. Maybe that's why the babies are punching and kicking away in there. Maybe they want you to uncross those legs. And Allie Melendez says, somebody told her, your baby will die if he sees his reflection before the age of 1. That's pretty heavy. That's a serious thing, and I don't believe it at all. But if I had another baby, I would definitely cover all of my mirrors just in case. All right, now I'm going to jump over and announce the 3 winners. These were my 3 favorites based on absolutely nothing. I didn't actually give you any criteria for this bad advice. I was going to pick the absolute worst advice, the weirdest, the strangest. No, these were just the ones that struck me the right way. It's completely arbitrary, just like the rest of life. Everything is unfair, especially parenting. All right, so on Instagram, Raven.0801, this is hers. Somebody told her, leave them alone. They sort it out between them. And another mom told her this when her child was attacking Raven's child with a metal shovel. And the other kid was bigger than her kid. Yeah, that's a good time to let nature take its course when the bigger kid who's armed is attacking your child. That's pretty ballsy advice to come from somebody. I think if my child were attacking somebody with a shovel, I would probably intervene. I mean, I'm pretty hands-off in most circumstances, but shovel assault is where I draw the line. Shuttle assault is also where I draw the line. Do not assault anyone on a shuttle, either the kind at the airport or the kind in space. All right. Michelle Haig on Twitter writes, you shouldn't get your doctor to you should get your doctor to induce labor early so you can claim the baby on this year's taxes. That's crazy advice. And it's also probably true. I guess if you induced right before the turn of the year, you could claim your baby on that year's taxes. I don't know that I would use that as medical criteria for inducing. Good luck convincing your doctor, but hey, props to somebody who was bold enough to say that to you. And on Facebook, Tiffany New Taylor writes, I think the worst advice I've gotten is that I need to not give my kids responsibilities, otherwise I'm going to give them stomach ulcers. I'm not going to pass that one along to my children. Just imagine, pick up your socks. Oh wait, I'm sorry, I take that back. I don't want you to get a stomach ulcer. Stomach ulcers are weird. They actually just recently discovered in like the last couple years that ulcers are caused by bacteria, kind of like everything else in your body. For years, they thought it was stress based on absolutely nothing. Basically, based on the same kind of old wives' tales that tell you to, give your baby bourbon and then cover mirrors so they don't die before the age of 1. Also, keep out the scissors so ghosts don't get them. Same basic line says stress causes ulcers. Somebody finally bothered to test. They're like, oh, it's bacteria. So please, give your kids responsibilities. It's okay. Congratulations to the winners. I will be contacting you. I will mail these out. To everybody who didn't win, the audiobook is available on Audible, or you can go and download it any place that audiobooks are available. If you have a library app, you can always request your library to get it. As far as I know, the library app I use does not currently have it because I'm not that important. So feel free to flatter me and request your library to get that. And if you do want to order the physical book, which is awesome, and also, gives you something physical to smash flies with, and or use as a coaster. It's only like $11.56 right now on Amazon, so check that out depending on what country you're in. So thank you for joining me for this video. Please continue filing your complaints about how this is a video, but that's okay. It was easy for me. It was probably mildly tolerable for you, and that's what matters. Thanks for sharing those incredible stories. I lost a little bit of faith in humanity today. Thank you.